My dear friends, today I am going to speak on the topic 5 things a startup founder has to take care before approaching the investor. On a day in day out basis, we see a lot of startup founders approaching us for asking for funding. Naturally, when we quiz them with respect to what was their strategy plan for the product or the service, how much is the market size, what is the traction, what is the idea in terms of how they are going to utilize the funds, and what is the exit being provided, they don't have answers to many of these questions. So when we have to approach the investor, you need to have 5 things absolutely being ready with you. The first and the most important of all, the business plan. Business plan is of course known as the mother document because that completely puts up whatever ideas and thoughts you have in your mind to a writing document. It is nothing but it is going to contain more about the company, the founder background experience, the team in which he is going to have and handle this product or service, the market size, the traction which is going to flow across for the next 5 years, your competitors, the USP for the product or the service, the branding strategy, the marketing strategy, the patent, the IP which you are going to have, the 5-year projections in terms of the revenue channel, your cost drivers which is going to be involved, and ultimately the net profit when you are going to make and the break even you are going to provide, the utilization of funds and the requirement as well as the exit which you are going to provide the investor over a period of time. So business plan is your first document which you need to have. It is about 50-60 page which will contain entire history starting from A of that startup to the Z of that startup. The second important aspect, again, you can't take your business plan approach all the investor, right? Naturally no one will have time to read through all those 60 pages document. So you need to have a shorter version of it which is known as information memorandum or the investor deck. It's a 20, probably if given a choice, I would say 15 to 20 slides containing briefly about the market potential problem and the statement which you are going to provide in terms of solving it, the revenue traction which is going to come in, the requirement for funds, usage of and utilization of it, and the exit plan you are going to provide to the investor. So this will be a 15-20 slide, key providing your employee, management team who is going to be involved into, and the exit plan you are going to provide them. Naturally, you can't take the information memorandum also to all, right? Because it contains something on your patent or IP, and you can't circulate this to all your investors. So the third document which you need to have ready is something called as teaser. The reason it's being called as teaser is they should be able to identify the market potential, but they should not be able to guess the name of the company or the person who has actually been involved into. So it's hardly a 2-page document which will provide the potential problem you are trying to solve and the projections which is going to flow from it and the requirement of funds. So 2-page document is going to be the teaser. The fourth and the important, again the most important, is the financial model, as well as you need to extend this and include your valuation as well. So you need to know what is the valuation you are targeting for this company, what is the amount you are going to raise for the funds, and ultimately what is the stake dilution which is going to happen. So financial modeling is something which will involve every single line item for raising funds, right? So it will involve something as your cost drivers, revenue, where is it going to come from which projects, is it a seasonal revenue or a non-seasonal revenue, my revenue contract terms, how is it going to be advanced, vis-a-vis collection at the time of delivery. So every single line item has to be very carefully drafted. If it is a rent being payable, whom it has been paid to, what is the amount, month on month, quarterly as well as annual. This will determine both in terms of your cash flows, predictability for next 24 months, as well as how much the investor has to fund you, and what is the requirement he is going to expect from you over this next 24 to 36 months. So financial model is very important. Along with that, a lot of startup founders actually approach investors without knowing what is the valuation they are going to provide them and what is the stake dilution which is going to happen. So you need to carry on this, having done the financial model side of it, you need to also carry on the valuation report, and along with that make sure that you know what is the right amount to be raised as well as the dilution which you need to provide, thereby arriving at the valuation of the company. So this 4 things is going to be very important, and the fifth as well as the most important thing is the confidence. So you need to carry on with yourself the confidence when you are approaching an investor for the pitch deck presentation. We see a lot of founders having brilliant ideas, but ultimately at the time of convincing the founders, they just fail miserably. So it's very important that you carry on the right confidence, pitch in your best at that point of time. Look, the most important part is not pitching for the purpose of raising funds, but to get you the second meeting. The moment you are able to get the second meeting, 90% of the job has been done, and the 10% in terms of signing formalities is naturally being carried out. So 5 important things, once again been repeated: the business plan, the mother document, which is the information deck you need to have ready. You can't prepare an information deck directly without having a business plan. It's going to only land you into trouble. The teaser, which is again a 2-page document to circulate in and around, just to create the buzz around. The financial model and the valuation, and the fifth and most important, confidence. With these 5 things, for any startup founder to raise funds, I think it should become at least a cakewalk for him to get through this process. Done. Wishing you all the very best for raising your funds. Thank you so much.